Good day, everyone. We are the Group 5. Today, we will be presenting about the remaining topics, which is the 5 topics that we had. First, the structure of a paragraph writing. Second, different formats of a paragraph and an essay. Third, writing essays using structures. Fourth, different types of essays. And 5, writing applications of different genres and emails. So now, let's start first the first topic that we have, which is the structures of paragraph writing. So, paragraph, as you can see in the definition above, paragraph, it is a collection of related sentences focused in a single topic. While there is no strict sentence limit, a typical paragraph contains 3 to 5 sentences. Although longer paragraphs are acceptable if the topic requires more elaboration, the key is the unity. All sentences must directly support the main idea. So, I will give you some steps in order for you to make a good paragraph. So, I have here some steps for you to follow. First, decide on the main topic. Before writing clearly, identify the central idea or the concept of your paragraph. This will serve as the foundation of your paragraph. For example, if you're writing about dogs, you might focus on their loyalty, intelligence, or breeds, right? Now, second, gather information and ideas. Once you have your topic, brainstorm supporting details, facts, examples, and anecdotes that illustrate your main point. For the dog's example, you might gather facts about their abilities, stories of their loyalty, and descriptions of different breeds, something like that. And the third one is organize your ideas. Arrange your supporting details logically. Common organization patterns includes chronological order. And the fourth is write a topic sentence. This is where you write your topic sentence. This topic sentence, usually the first, states the main idea of your paragraph. It acts as a roadmap for the reader, indicating what the paragraph will be about. Because if the reader will read your paragraph, the first sentence, when they read, that is the idea of the paragraph. So, this is when the time that you write your topic sentence after you gather the main idea, gather some ideas, and organize your thought, and then you write your topic sentence. The fifth is add supporting sentences. These sentences develop and support the topic sentence. Each sentence should present a specific piece of evidence or details that strengthen your main point. Right? For example, the dogs. Supporting dog sentences might describe their ability to learn tricks, their problem solving skills, and their use in assisting humans. And the last step is write a concluding sentence. This sentence summarizes or restates the main idea in a way providing closure to the paragraph. It might offer a final thought or transitions to the next paragraph. So that is the steps that you need to remember. First, find first your the main idea. Okay, then follow by gather the information and then organize your thought. And then the fourth is this is when the time that you write now the topic sentence after you know the your main topic, and then gather some ideas and then organize your thought. Then follow the fifth one is add the supporting sentences, and the sixth is the write and concluding sentences. Now let's go down to the structure of the paragraph. So I have here a four, like first the topic sentence, development, examples, and a summary. So earlier I already discussed the could be the steps in order for you to write a paragraph. And we will talk about the structure of the paragraph. What will be the content of your paragraph? So first we will talk about the topic sentence. What is a topic sentence? This sentence indicates the main idea of the paragraph. It is somewhat the central point of everything, like everything of your paragraph. It is the central point and it is the main focus. Somewhat this is a title when the reader read it. So the first sentence that it will be your topic or the topic sentence of a paragraph. Now we have a development. So what is development? This section expands on the topic sentence, providing details, explanations, and supporting evidence to fully explain the main idea. So somewhat, this development and examples are the supporting details of the topic sentence, especially the examples. These examples are the specific instances, data, evidence that validate the claims made in the development section. They make the paragraph more convincing and credible. So as much as possible, use an examples when writing your paragraph. And lastly, the summary or the conclusion part of your paragraph. Summary, this is the concluding part that restates the main point, summarizing the key information and providing a sense of closure. A sense of closure of your paragraph. It might also offer a concluding thought or transition to the next paragraph. So remember, these are the structures of the paragraph. First, the topic sentence, followed by the supporting details, which is the development and examples, and the conclusion or the summary. So now move on to the examples or the example. So as you can see, the examples that I provided is color coded say to the structure of a paragraph in order for you to understand where is the topic sentence, which is the blue one, that is the topic sentence, and the development part is the green one, is the green part of the examples, that is the development. You can just pause this video and read the examples. And the orange one was the examples to make the paragraph more credible. And lastly, the red part was the summary, which is the concluding part of your paragraph. So I think that would be all. This is Jane Kinya once again.
Hello everyone! Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Hanali Munyaske from BS Ed 2B, and for today I will be discussing you the different formats of a paragraph and an essay. But before that, I will be telling you first what's the difference between a paragraph and an essay. So a paragraph is a group of sentences focused on a single idea, while essay on the other hand is a structured piece of writing that explores a topic in depth. Now let's begin with the different formats of a paragraph. So I have 5 different formats of a paragraph. The first one is the basic paragraph format, or the TEL or PEE. The second one is the narrative paragraph. The third one is the descriptive paragraph, persuasive paragraph, and the expository paragraph. So let us first let us learn about the first format, which is the basic paragraph format, or the TEL or PEE. So the TEL stands for the topic sentences, states the main idea, where it expands the idea. The second one, which is the E, is the evidence or the example. It supports with facts or examples, while the L, where the L is the linking sentence. It connects to the next idea or wraps up. And the PEE stands for the point, evidence, and explanation. The next one is the narrative paragraph. And now the next one is the narrative paragraph. So, based on its name, a narrative paragraph tells a story or personal experience. It has a clear beginning, middle, and end. It often uses chronological order. It is stated on a step-by-step connected dots. The third paragraph format is the descriptive paragraph. Now, a descriptive paragraph is very simple. It focuses on vivid imagery and sensory details, and it describes a scene, a person, or an object. Now let's go deeper into the fourth paragraph format. It is called the persuasive paragraph. So a persuasive paragraph states an opinion and supports it with reasons or facts. May addresses a counter argument. The fifth and the last paragraph format is called an expository paragraph. It explains a concept or provides information, uses facts, logic, and clear explanation. Now, in this expository paragraph, it does not necessarily contains your opinions because it simply possesses factual information. Now, that's it for the paragraph formats, and here are the examples of each paragraph format. And now, let's go with the examples of the 5 formats of a paragraph. The first example is for the basic paragraph format. The example is, I love pizza because it's both delicious and versatile. You can have it with a variety of toppings, from classic pepperoni to unique choices like pineapples. It's also perfect for any occasions, whether it's a party or a simple dinner at home. Pizza will always be my go-to comfort food. Now, as you can notice, a basic paragraph contains a topic sentence, a supporting details, and a concluding sentence. The second one will be going down deeper with the narrative paragraph format. A narrative paragraph tells a story or recounts an event. For example, last summer, I went hiking in the mountains with my cousins. We started early in the morning with the sun just rising above the trees. Along the trail, we saw a deer, heard birds singing, and even found a hidden waterfall. It was a long and tiring hike, but reaching the summit made it all worth it. That day became one of my favorite memories. Now, you can see that it only recounts on an event using the words last summer, we started early, which was all in the past tenses. Now, the third one is the descriptive paragraph format. A descriptive paragraph points a picture with words using sensory details. These sensory details involves sight, a descriptive paragraph format paints a picture with words using sensory details. Now, using sensory details includes sight, hearing, feel, touch, and smell. The example for the descriptive paragraph format is, the beach was absolutely breathtaking. The golden sand was warm under my feet and the salty sea air breeze danced through my hair. The water shimmered like glass, reflecting the blue sky above. Seagulls called out overhead as the waves gently lapped the shore. It felt like paradise. Now, as you can see, the paragraph contains a very vivid imagery using the sensory details. The fourth is the persuasive paragraph format. Now, a persuasive paragraph format, again, tries to convince the reader of a particular opinion or idea. Now, an example is, schools should start later in the morning to help students perform better. Studies shows that teens need more sleep to function well during the day. Early school hours often leave students feeling tired and unfocused. A later stand time would improve both learning and mental health. For the sake of students' well being, school must take this change. Now, as you can see, this format of a paragraph tells a particular opinion. The fifth format for the paragraph format is the expository paragraph format. Now, an expository paragraph format explains a concept or provides factual information. We have here an example. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants make their own food. It occurs in the chloroplast of plant cells using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. During photosynthesis, plants convert light energy into chemical energy, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. This process is essential for life on Earth, as it provides the oxygen we breathe and the food we eat. And now we will be going to the different formats of an essay. So I have here 6 different formats for an essay. The first one is the 5-paragraph essay, or the standard format. The second one is the argumentative essay. The third one is the expository essay. And fourth, comparative essay. Fifth, descriptive essay. And the last one is the narrative essay. Now, based on how these formats are titled, you can already see and you can have guessed what kind of formats and what kind of essay they are. So let's go down first with the 5-paragraph essay standard format. This includes the introduction, the body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, and the conclusion as an ending. Now, the introduction includes hook, the background info on the thesis statement. The body paragraph 1 is the first supporting idea of the said topic. The second one supports the idea. And the third one is the third supporting idea. And the conclusion summarizes points, restates thesis, and the closing thought. The second one is the argumentative essay. It presents an argument and supports it with evidence, includes counter-arguments and rebuttals, has a clear thesis and logical reasoning. The third one is the expository essay, which explains or informs about a topic, uses facts and statistics and examples. No personal opinions included. The fourth one is the comparative essay. Now, as you can see, it is all about the comparative, or the comparison. It compares or contrasts two subjects. It can use blocks or the subject by subject format or point by point format. The fifth one is the descriptive essay. It paints a picture with words, focuses on sensory details, as what it says in the paragraphs format, to describe a scene or experience. The last one is the narrative essay. Tells a personal story with a clear point or theme. Uses first-person perspective and vivid images.
A pleasant day, everyone. My name is Rolando M. Sinaning of BSED 2B. And at this juncture, let me inform you that I'll be talking about my topic, which is writing essays using structure. So let's start. So, a basic essay consists of 3 main parts, which are introduction, body, and conclusion. Following this format will help us write and organize an essay. However, flexibility is important. While keeping this basic essay format in mind, let the topic and specific assignment guide the writing and organization. So, the question is, why is an essay structure crucial? Well, because an essay structure is crucial. It enhances clarity, coherence, and readability, allowing the reader to follow the argument and understand the main points effectively. It also helps the writer organize their ideas logically, and present information in a systematic way, demonstrating their ability to develop a cohesive argument. So, I've mentioned the three main parts of an essay. So, let's start off with introduction. The introduction guides our reader into the paper by introducing the topic. It should begin with a hook that catches the reader's interest. So, this hook could be a quote, an analogy, a question, or etc. After getting the reader's attention, the introduction should give some background information on the topic. The ideas within the introduction should be general enough for the reader to understand the main claim and gradually become more specific to lead into the thesis statement. Next is the body, the second part of an essay. So, the body of an essay supports the main points presented in the thesis. In the body, each point is developed by one or more paragraphs and supported with specific details. These details can include support from research and experiences depending on the assignment. In addition to the support, the author's own analysis and discussion of the topic ties ideas together and draws conclusion that supports the thesis. Third part of an essay, the conclusion. The conclusion brings together all the main points of an essay. So, the conclusion, it refers back to the thesis statement and leaves readers with a final thought and sense of closure by resolving any ideas brought up in the essay. It may also address the implications of the argument. In the conclusion, these topics or ideas that were not developed in the paper should not be introduced.
Hi everyone, I am Casimir Paterna and I am now going to discuss about the types of essays. So again, an essay is a focused piece of writing designed to inform. And also an essay has different types, but the types that we will discuss are the basic, which is the narrative type, descriptive, cause and effect, compare and contrast, and argumentative essays. So the first type is descriptive essay. So a descriptive essay is a type of essay which describes something such as an object, a place, a person, or an event. So mostly descriptive essays basically focuses on the use of your senses and your judgment skills, or what you think you see on a certain place, object, person, or event. So there are three tips, or I'm going to provide three tips in writing a descriptive essay. So first is writing a descriptive essay, you need to use figurative languages. So in writing a descriptive essay, figurative languages like metaphor or simile can create a memorable effect to readers once they read your piece or your writing. These figurative languages creates edges and makes your essay unique and your description unique. So the second one is use your senses. So of course, in writing a descriptive essay, you will not only focus on what you see about certain things like a place, an event, or a person. You also need to use your senses, like your hearing sense, your um, smell, or your what you call this? Yes, smell, your sound, your touch, and also your taste. So you basically need to use all the senses that you have. Um, the third tip on writing a descriptive essay is that you need to choose the right words. So a descriptive essay must not be very or must not be complex to understand. So in writing descriptive essays, it involves choosing your words correctly. The use of the adjectives, adverbs, and verbs, or even nouns is very important because it helps your essay become more understandable. So in choosing the right words, you need to not use a word repetitively, and you need to look for its synonym so that a word would not repeat, or a word in your essay would not repeat many times. So that would be all for descriptive essays. So now I'm going to proceed to the narrative essay. So a narrative essay is a writing that tells a story about an experience, either imaginary or real. So mostly narrative essays are focused on what had happened, or what happened to certain things, like events or like places that had certain issues. So there are five tips in writing a narrative essay. So first, you need to choose a topic, create an outline. Second, you need to create an outline. Third, write it in first person point of view. Fourth, use creative language. And lastly, fifth, you need to proofread your narrative essay. So first, in narrative essay, you need to choose a topic. So the first step that you need to do is decide on what topic you need, or what topic you want to write about. So sometimes topics are based on prompts given by teachers or supervisors. Like for example, when a teacher gives a student a topic, or when a teacher gives a student a prompt like your summer vacation experience, then you will proceed to narrate your happenings, or the happenings that had happened again in your summer vacation, the experiences that happened in your summer vacation. And next is creating an outline. So after choosing a topic, you need to create an outline in your essay. So narrative essays, you should write it with introduction, body, and also conclusion, in which in introduction you will introduce your topic. In the body, you will discuss the relevant informations, or the key points that is included in your topic. And lastly is the conclusion, where the overall conclusion is discussed in your topic. So the third tip is you need to write it in first person point of view, which it includes using the pronouns I, me, and we. In writing first person point of view, it visualizes how you tell the story if you're having an in person conversation with someone about your topic. So the readers will feel very connected to you because it is like you are talking um you are both of you, both the reader and you as a writer are talking each other in person. So the readers can feel connected to your experiences, which can strengthen the impact of your story and make it more impressive. So the fourth tip on writing your narrative essay is you need to use creative language. So the style of your storytelling can make the writing of your narrative essay more interesting. So you need to avoid using the same words multiple times, and instead you need to search words that are synonymous to the words that you have used before instead of using the same word again and again. So, for example, instead of saying that something was confusing, you can use perplexing or bewildering. So these simple words can enhance the readability of your writing, and it would find a balance that communicates your point clearly enough with creativity that enables readers to visualize your words. So that would be all for the use of creative language. And the last one is you need to after doing the four steps, you need to proofread your writing, of course. So the final step is to make sure that your narrative essay is free from errors. So you need to check if it does not have any misspelled words or if the grammar that you are using is correct, so that you can be able to avoid all these mistakes, or you can be able to avoid having low scores because of passing a narrative or submitting a narrative essay which has these errors. So that would be all for the narrative 5 tips of writing a narrative essay. So on the next slide, here is an example of a descriptive essay and a narrative essay. So the descriptive essay is on the left side and the narrative essay is on the right side. So that would be all for my part. So the next types or the other types of narrative essays will be discussed by Yelling. Thank you and goodbye.
Now another type of an essay is compare and contrast essays. So what is compare and contrast essay? Compare and contrast essay discuss two subjects and detail the similarities and differences between them. These essays include an introduction, at least one paragraph to explain the subject similarities, and at least one paragraph to discuss differences and a conclusion. Compare and contrast essays are common in academic settings. It is providing literary analysis, for example. It's a common technique used in writing research and everyday life to understand and explain complex topics or ideas. The goal is to highlight key features and provide a clear understanding of the subjects being examined. So, now let's have its key elements. First is clear criteria. Establish the specific features or aspects you'll be comparing and contrasting.
This ensures a focused and organized analysis. Second, balanced approach. Give equal attention to both similarities and differences. Do not favor one subject over the other unless there's a specific reason to do so. Third, supporting evidence. Use examples, facts, and data to support your comparisons and contrasts. Avoid vague generalization. Use transitional words. For example, similarly, however, in contrasts, on the other hand. So those are example phrases you can use to guide the reader through the analysis and clearly show the relationships between the subjects. Next is applications. Compare and contrast is widely used in various fields, including academic writing. Essays, research papers, and presentation often employ this technique to analyze different theories, historical events, or literary works. Next is decision making. In everyday life, we use compare and contrast to make choices between different options. For example, choosing a car, deciding a career path. Next is problem solving. Understanding the similarities and differences between different approaches can help in finding solutions to problems. So now let me discuss its example. Again, this example is not mine. This belongs to the rightful owner. So the essay titled The Ogre and the Toad, Finding Self and Solitude in the Swamp. So first, it states its heading. This includes the student's name. He put his name here, his class, the date when he wrote this essay, and the teacher's name, and its standard formatting for essays. Next is his introduction. So the intro starts by mentioning how people often imagine scary monsters like vampires or zombies. Then it introduced Fremont the Toad and Griff the Ogre, two unusual creatures from animated films. Even though they seem very different, the essay hints that they actually share some deeper similarities. So its purpose is to show how these characters reflect human emotions and experiences. Next is his body paragraph. This is where the essay compares and contrasts Fremont and Griff. So its differences is Fremont is a musical toad with big dreams in show business. Then Griff is a lonely ogre who avoids others and prefers isolations. While their similarities is they both similarities are they both live in swamp, a place that symbolizes solitude. Then the swamp helps both characters hide and reflect. Despite their differences, both are on a journey of self-discovery. The writing techniques used here is compare and contrast words like in contrast, on the other hand, and similarly. So those are the transitional phrases he used rather. So he focused on analysis and explanation, not just opinion. And lastly, his conclusion is he restates that Fremont and Griff are unique, but both seek a deeper understanding of themselves. Emphasizes that these creatures, though fictional, might be more human than they appear. encourages readers to look beyond appearances and see the characters' emotional journeys. So that is my discussion for today. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Miss Elwian. Next type of essay is cause and effect essay. So this essay is an expository essay that explains the relationships between specific conditions and their consequences, often within the context of a big picture issue. These conditions are known as causes, and their consequences are known as effects. So, cause and effect essays detail why certain events or situation lead to other events. Writers create a clear connection between the two sets of events or circumstances and explain what features of initiating event creating the subsequent incidents. This type of essay state facts and avoid subjective opinions. Now, let me present to you its key elements. First, identifying causes and effects. This is the foundational step. You need to clearly identify the event or situation you're analyzing, which is the effect, and then pinpoint the factors that lead to it, that is the causes. Sometimes a single effect might have multiple causes, and a single cause might have multiple effects. The essay should explore these complex relationships. Next is establishing causal links. Simply listing causes and effects isn't enough. You must demonstrate a clear connection between them. This involves explaining how the cause lead to the effect. Use transitional words and phrases. Example, therefore, as a result, consequently, to show the logical flow between cause and effect. Next is organization. A cause and effect essay can be structured in two main ways: cause to effect and effect to cause. So let me explain the cause to effect first. This approach starts by identifying the cause, then traces its consequences. This is useful when exploring a single cause with multiple effects. Then second, effect to cause. This approach begins with the effect, then investigates the factors that lead to it. This is suitable when analyzing a particular outcome and exploring its various causes. Next is supporting evidence. Like any well-written essay, a cause and effect essay needs supporting evidence. This could include facts, statistics, examples, anecdotes, or expert opinions to back up your claims about the causal relationships. Next is this is not in the PowerPoint, but I will add it. It is avoiding fallacies. So it is crucial to avoid logical fallacies. Just because two things happen together doesn't automatically mean one caused the other. Be careful to establish genuine causal links, not just coincidence. Now, let me discuss the example of cause. Let me discuss the example of cause and effect essay. Again, this example is not mine. This belongs to the rightful owner. So, let me begin. So first, it has a heading or a title, which is Homelessness. This then its introduction paragraph. In introduction, it states that homelessness is a serious national issue. It includes a statistic from U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Over 500,000 people experience homelessness on any given night. It also outlines that homelessness has multiple causes and wide-reaching effects, both for individuals and society. Then its paragraph, this is the core part where the causes and effects are explained in detail. This, of course, its causes. First causes. Lack of affordable housing is a major cause. Inadequate social support services also contribute significantly. And its effects, homelessness leads to strain on personal relationships. It may lead to drug abuse as a coping mechanism. It causes a downward spiral into poverty and isolation. As I analyze the essay, it uses block structure, where it discusses causes first, then effects, rather than alternating between the two. Then, its conclusion, it wraps up the essay by reaffirming the seriousness of the issue, emphasizes that each city faces unique challenges, but one common factor is the lack of social support. It is also encourages the need to approach the issue with compassion and strategic solutions. Good day, everyone. I am Miss Aluyan, and now I will continue to discuss the different types of essays. First, we have this called argumentative essay. So, what is argumentative essay? Argumentative essay is a type of academic writing that aims to persuade or convince the reader to agree with the writer's viewpoint on a specific issue. It uses evidence, logic, and reasoning to support a thesis statement, demonstrating why the reader should believe the writer's claim. Argumentative essays rely on facts and logical reasoning rather than emotion to sway the readers. In this type of an essay, you are not just describing or explaining, but you must actively argue for your stance. Now let me discuss to you its key components. First, claims or thesis statement. This is your main argument, the central point you are trying to prove. It should be concise, specific, and debatable. A strong thesis statement will guide the entire essay. Next is your evidence. This forms the backbone of your argument. It includes facts, statistics, examples, and expert opinions, and relevant data to support your claims. The quality and relevance of your evidence are crucial for a convincing argument. Next, or third, rather, reasoning. Your reasoning. This is how you connect your evidence to your claim. You need to explain why the evidence supports your position and how it contributes to your overall argument. Logical reasoning is essential. Next is your counter arguments. Acknowledging opposing viewpoints demonstrates a balanced perspectives and strengthens your own argument. Addressing counter-arguments effectively shows you've considered all sides of the issue. You'll refute these opposing viewpoints using evidence and reasoning. So now, I will discuss the structure on how to write an argumentative essay. So first, of course, you must have your introduction. To introduce your topic, you provide background information and state your thesis statement. Next is your body paragraphs. Body paragraphs. Each paragraph must focuses on a specific supporting point, providing evidence and reasoning. And after your body paragraph, state the counter arguments. This is a dedicated section or paragraph addresses opposing views and refutes them. Finally, your conclusion. In conclusion, you must summarize your main points, restate your thesis and in a new way, and offer a final thought or a call to action. Again, in writing your argumentative essay, you must avoid first-person statements. Rather, they support one side of an argument and may argue against counter-arguments using objective information. You can use phrases like, for example, research suggests, or according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That is example of those phrases. To present the facts that you support arguments. Next is I have here writing tips on how to write an argumentative essay. So first, maintain a respectful tone. Second, use persuasive language. Third, provide clear and convincing evidences. Fourth, organize your thoughts logically. And fifth, of course, proofread and edit your work. Now, let me present to you an example of argumentative essay. This is from the internet. This belongs to the rightful owner. So, this argumentative essay is all about environmental issues. So this is entitled, Where Are All the Cops? Just to give you an overview about this essay is, according to him, students and teachers threw their used plastic cups everywhere in university that cause a negative impact in environment and in our greenhouse gases. So that is what he wants to talk about. Now let me continue to explain. After the title, it is followed by introduction and has a thesis statement in a red highlight text. Let me read it to you. One way is to stop making plastic cups available for the students at school. So that is his thesis statement. Then in second paragraph, he stated his reason 1. In his reason 1, he stated there, one main reason is that using plastic cups is bad for the environment. Then he explained his reason. In his third paragraph, he stated his second reason. That is stated, it is clear that getting rid of the plastic cup will be good for the college. Then he explained again his reason. Next paragraph, he recognizes the counter-argument that said, may argue that it is unfair to get rid of the cups. Then after recognizing this argument, he gave his solution. Instead of using plastic cups, students may bring their own water bottle as an eco-friendly way, and his conclusion ended with his thesis statement.
Hey everybody, my name is Kaisha Maria Angela Kahayag, and today I'm going to be talking about the writing application of different genre and emails. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is descriptive writing. So descriptive writing is a style of writing that has involved a detailed description of place of a person, which intended to create a vivid picture in the reader's mind. It hoped that if the readers is fully immersed in what's happening, then they'll enjoy the text more. So technically, when you're writing a story, or trying to describe something like in a, let's just say that you're writing a document of a certain person describing their personality, their details, their appearance, and the rest of the ideas. Like when you're reading the fiction, you have to put like the details of who is this character, what did he look like, and yeah. So descriptive writing is just focusing on the character's personality and their appearance as well, including their whole background or so. So that is descriptive writing. And the next thing is narrative writing. Narrative writing can be defined as a piece of text that tells a story. This can be in the form of a fiction or nonfiction and relates to both the story in order in which being told. It can sustain the reader's attention, can help them visualize a realistic experience from the words. So, narrative writing is like, well, it's different from descriptive writing because descriptive writing only like focus on adding details of a certain place or character, while narrative writing focus on the story. It doesn't it doesn't want to focus on details rather than focus on the plot itself. Like when you read a storybook since you're a child, you cannot like you can see like there the text that doesn't describe the character's personality and their appearance as well. It's just show what how they look like, how they act like, based on the narrative, like near on the context clues that you've been collecting. So that is narrative writing. It's just focused on the story, not the details, the whole details of it. And lastly is expository writing. So expository writing is a style composition expose or explain a topic using facts. Often includes that thesis statements support information, explanatory paragraphs, and conclusion and summarize the information. With this, expository writing primarily focuses on present factual information that's free from biases and or opinions. Instead, these documents disguise proven details about a topic, allowing the readers to make informed conclusion on their own. Is to present information to the readers while also sharing concept ideas that back up the facts and evidence. So, so it's like news report. Like you need like you're trying to expose this guy who is in a political position and you want to expose the bad deed without spraying false information like gossiping sort. So you decide to collect all the evidence based on how the citizen were affected by his corruption power, and then you decide to write it in your news report, and shabam, you expose that person with clear evidence, because without clear evidence, well, you're a dead meat, of course. So yeah, that's how I explain these three genres that is related to this topic. And now we're gonna have Jerkelo to explain the rest of the writing application of different genres. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you there. Bye.
So to continue the report of writing application in different genres and emails. So first, let's have the persuasive writing. So persuasive writing is a versatile skill that can be applied to various genres and formats, including um, sales emails, marketing emails, fundraising emails, and business emails. For the different genres is editorials, speeches, argumentative, and next the purpose of persuasive writing is techniques to different genres and formats and emails. Writers can effectively communicate the message or their message and achieve their goals. So what are the key importance when delivering a persuasive writing and emails? So first is emotional appeal. To connect, this is to without connect with the readers. So you must connect your writing style to your readers. So it would be persuasive, that it could persuade them. Second is logical reasoning. So this is to build a convincing case. So third is social proof. This is to build credibility. Then last is repetition. It is to emphasize the importance of what you propose or what you wrote. So next example of writing application in different genres and emails is responding to literature. So responding to literature involves um, analyzing, interpreting, and evaluating a literary work. For example, close reading. Close reading is to analyze the text closely, tapos paying attention to language, structure, and literary device. Next is theme identification, or identify the themes and message that conveyed by that work. No? So by responding to literature in writing application across different genres and emails, readers can engage more deeply with the text and develop a greater understanding of its themes, characters, and literary devices. So that would be out of my part. Thank you.